Hello everyone, I'm a film major who never watches any films, so I'm trying to watch a film every day, and I recently watched a film called A Silent Voice. It's on Netflix. It's an animation film, and it was fantastic. Content warning for both the film and this video. There's strong themes of suicide, of self-harm, and self-hate. And ableism. So if just letting you know that that's what this film is all about, and so we'll be discussing some of that in this video. I had no idea what this film was about going in. You know, it was just on my Netflix watch later list, and I finally got around to it, and it was fantastic. The main story is about this deaf girl who goes to a high school and gets bullied. And you follow the bully. It's really his story. So he, bullies her because she doesn't fit in, because he doesn't fit in. And there's a lot of self-hate that he gets from that. The girl ends up transferring schools because of the bully so much. And, his friends starts to rat him out for being a bully and start bullying him for being a bully. So it's really just a cycle of violence that these bullying creates. When you separate people and make them the other, not only do you end up hating each other, but you end up hating yourself for the things that you do, and the way that you treat yourself and the way that other people treat you. So that is what this film is all about. I feel like every single character in this film hates themselves for some way. So if you ever have any kind of insecurity or self-hate or self-doubt, you'll end up relating to one of these characters, because they always, I guess they all show their struggles throughout this film, and I feel like it can relate to a lot of people. I know this movie touched me personally because my mother's actually deaf, and so she has told me, some of the stories similar to this girl who got bullied in the show. Things like her hearing aids getting ripped out and thrown away, and, the family not being able to afford new ones because hearing aids are so fucking expensive, which, yeah, I knew that from growing up too. I know my mom would always try and avoid the rain because she doesn't want to get her hearing aids messed up, or firsthand understanding the struggle and the difficulties that come with trying to communicate with someone who is hearing impaired, through means that aren't just writing or sign language. When you try and use your voices with each other, it can become very difficult. So yeah, it was just crazy to see that on the screen, and so well depicted too. It was just it was not what I was expecting at all, and I felt just so I was drawn in immediately just because of that personal family connection. But then it became more like a suicide story. The main character, the bully, he attempted to take his life once, and he either stopped or he got pulled out of the river. I don't really remember, because that was right near the start of the film. And so it was just basically him learning how to reopen back up to the world and allow himself to love himself and other people. And the journey is him, the former bully, reconnecting with this deaf girl, and how they learn to love themselves and each other. So it's kind of cheesy, but the way that the story the way that the characters interact just seems so nuanced sometimes, and you get little dribbles of how each character hates themselves, and the payoff is later. in the film. It does seem a little bit long, but it's because they have to end on a happy ending. There's a point where I feel like the film could have ended, but it would have been definitely a really sad note and not satisfying for any of the characters. So it goes on about like 20 minutes longer than I think it should, but it's nice because it does like kind of wrap everything up in a nice little bow. And not to say that everything is perfect, it's kind of the opposite. You know, everybody has these flaws, and you know, we still love each other for that. We still are friends with people, you know, through these hard times. You know, we're not trying to cancel anybody, even though these are maybe people we shouldn't hang out with. They're people that we love, and they're people that we care about, and they're people that we're going to hold accountable and try and help them become better people as we try to become better people ourselves. And so it's really a beautiful film. It doesn't really fall into many of the anime tropes. You know, there's no like fan service. There's definitely a lot of times that they could have, but there's no like fan service, which, you know, is fine in a show. And I was expecting it, but it was nice that they didn't go that route, especially when they were talking about like so many serious topics, and it was not what I was expecting at all. And there was just there's so many like little lines that just really got to me. I know, like halfway through the film, I had to take a break just because I was pretty overwhelmed. You know, I wasn't mentally prepared to watch a film like this, which is why I should have like looked about, you know, checked out the summary or checked out like the rating or anything to see what it was about. There was just like little things like the main character, he was at like the fairgrounds with his friends, and he stops for a moment, you know, and looks at everybody having fun, and he says something along the lines of, "Wow, I have friends, and I feel like I'm having fun, and I love myself for the first time in a long time, and I didn't know that I was allowed to feel like this. I didn't know that I even could feel like this anymore." And that just, you know, that maybe struck me for personal reasons. You know, I feel like I've had moments like that where it's just kind of, it just seems like something so simple, but it's just something so earth-shattering. So I really feel like a lot of these journeys have been, they were just so depicted like so perfectly. Not like perfectly in the sense of like nothing was wrong, but perfectly as the sense of like, yeah, that's an accurate experience. And I feel like, I hope that's coming across with what I say, because I feel like it might be just lost up in a big jumble and not like very cohesive or whatever. But I just feel like this movie really did the really showed like the human struggles with mental illness, with self-hate, really well. They showed it in many different ways, in so many different characters too. And I feel like that's what it was all about. Yeah, just learning to love yourself. And that's different for many different people, and that's why they have the different characters that they do, because it shows up in many different ways. So I think the film did a great job at that. Initial viewing, I would probably give it a 9 out of 10. It's a really high score, but I don't know. I just feel like it hit so many emotional beats correctly, and it handled these topics in a sensitive and nuanced way, and a pretty accurate way from my own personal experience and the experience that I've heard about from loved ones who have gone through similar things. So yeah, pretty fantastic movie. It's on Netflix. Check it out.